pasando. Aquí está pasando.
Hey! Welcome to Pasando DTLA. My name is Toss Tones.
And I'm El Padrino, directly from Miami.
That's right, and LA. Y recuerda,
Aquí está pasando. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, bro? I'm living the life, but you living it up for real in the MIA.
Yeah, man, it's fun out here, dude. I got rained on like 5 times today, but we're good.
Crazy talk. It's been raining like stormy, like here, like the past 2 days in LA. You know, that's like, oh my God, the end of the world.
Everybody goes crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I love it. I feel great every time it rains over here. It's such a blessing. But bro, you got that background over there. You got that. You looking like you're in South Beach or something.
We close by, close enough.
You living it up.
It's like a solid I would say like 5 minutes away.
Nice.
But yeah, man, dude,
it.
we're just out here visiting family and you know, just loving the vibes out here. Yeah.
Reconnecting.
Yeah.
How many days you been there?
Comiendo rico.
¿Cuántos días llevas allá?
Yo llegué aquí, got here on Monday.
Oh, so you got a few days and
yeah.
But what have you done? Like, what have you done besides the family? What was the first thing that you at least want to do in MIA?
Yeah, bro, I just been eating, just going out, having a good time. Like we were eating by South Beach. We like rode bikes down the boardwalk, and then today we went to Wynwood.
Nice.
And then, you know, more to come. But, you know, just eating, having fun, bro. I wanna go out to like a scene, you know, like El Patio or one of those like spots that has really good music.
Well, they don't care about this COVID stuff. They've been partying it up.
Yeah, they do have indoor dining and like people are going out, but because I love the vibe out here. Like when it comes to music, like I think I told you one time, bro, like you go out and there will be like 3 reggaeton, así de la mata, like heavy duty, and then back to back, and then 3 dembos dominicano, like just like going back to back, and then cubaton, you know, like timba heavy.
For real,
bro. It's just like fun. It's fun.
Miami's lit.
Yeah,
it's lit. That's
y la latinidad aquí es como que muy diferente. It's dope,
bro. You know, Miami is the Latin king/queen.
Yeah.
Of you know, US. You know,
yeah.
we got the Latin vibes in LA for sure.
For sure.
Miami, Florida.
It's a different myriad. It's a different like mix. And both, you know, it's definitely cool, but you know, this is interesting. You know how like certain music you tie to like a place?
Mm-hmm.
Yo estaba escuchando así canciones como, pues obviamente like, you know, like songs from Bad Bunny or like songs from like Jay Wheeler and I feel like that music was made for like a place like this, you know? Like
it was made for a place like that and probably made over there.
Made here, right?
They all making all that over there.
Yeah. Like when you listen to like Nipsey or you listen to like, you know, like certain like artists from LA, like, you know that it was like made for that place.
Like
I don't know.
This dude,
just, like, fits.
What's his name?
Who? Dom Kennedy?
Nah, this dude. The guy that has a song with YG.
There's a lot of guys.
YG.
Oh, YG.
You know, YG is the same vibe. Every time he makes something, you know that feels like LA.
Yeah, it does.
100%.
Yeah,
that's lit. I haven't been in Miami in a while,
bro. It like I feel like I come here at least once a year, sometimes twice. Every time I come, it just changes. Like everywhere, bro. It's just an evolving city.
I love the food over there. There's this Peruvian spot. I'm not gonna shout it out, but it's one of my favorite. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna shout it out. You know,
shout it out, bro.
You ever? I'm not sure if it's in. No, I'm not sure if it's in Orlando or Miami.
Bobby, no.
I think it's in Miami.
No,
it's a Peruvian restaurant. It's called Pollos y Jarras.
No, no lo conozco.
Now I can't remember, but that place, bro.
Papi, no te enfangue aquí con.
Es que no me acuerdo. I haven't been there in so long, like for real. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but the pandemic alone has us like set back a year. Sometimes
True.
it's weird. Sometimes it feels like, oh yeah, I haven't seen you in a little bit, and then you really look, I haven't seen you in over a year because
Yeah,
I saw you last time before the pandemic, and it's been a year and 3 months now, like a year or at least a year.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah, no.
crazy. But
Yeah, man.
talking about that the indoor dining and outdoor dining, what you think about that starting to happen like in a few weeks in LA? What you think about that?
Hey, man, people are getting vaccinated. They say it's safe for people to be vaccinated and be indoors. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's what.
not,
So they say.
I'm not opposed.
Definitely, we need to go. We need to get this thing going. I mean, at this point, like no disrespect to anybody, because all my family, we still staying in the cautious,
Yeah,
the
of course.
caution area. But at this point, like us humans we are like, we know this thing is out there. We just want to get back to living the
Yeah,
regular, day to day. So at this point, it's like, whatever, let's do it.
man. Yeah, I mean, I think we're almost ready. So I'm not opposed to it. And like we promised, as soon as things start opening and we feel like it's appropriate, bro, we're gonna start throwing these Pasando DTLA parties. So we're
Hey,
we're we're ready for people. We're ready
that's
for
been
people.
in the cooking. That's been in the cooking. Like I think we're shooting for April, the
No, no,
latest.
no digas todavía, because we might not be ready.
I think we shooting for it because we making some moves. It's not we still all the places are dealing with permits and the rules and everything. So that's what we haven't really gotten out there. But with this news that because next week indoor dining starts, like next week.
Oh, I didn't know that. In
Next
LA?
week or yeah, like next week or like 2 weeks tops.
Yeah,
That's what with the 25%.
right.
Um,
So I saw that here too, and like it doesn't seem like entirely unsafe, at least from the places that I saw. Like it just seems like there's tables spread apart and they're unmasked. I mean, I don't think it's ideal. I wouldn't eat indoors, but
at all.
it didn't seem like bizarre, at least from what I saw. But I'm
I
sure
don't
there's
know if
other places that are doing other stuff.
I don't know if I roll with it too much, but yeah, I mean, man, we can't wait. We can't wait to get with the peoples. There's a lot of people
Bro,
that I
there's
haven't
so
seen
much
in so
music
much.
that we need to live hasn't been played live. Like,
Wait, you
with like,
wait, hold
¿qué
on.
pasó?
Say that again because it got a little
No.
choppy. Say that again.
Oh, that there's so much music that hasn't been played live that we need to play live.
What?
Like, yo hago lo que me dé la gana, los
Bro, but that was the
dioses,
último tour el último tour
el
del
último tour del
mundo.
mundo.
That's why he called it that. It's done. It's not and no more.
Like, oh, it's over. That happened.
That's crazy. Crazy
Yeah, dude.
times, man. Crazy times.
Hey, man. So I wanted to talk to you about this because it's on our one-on-one. But Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak dropped a song. Did you hear it?
You're
So what'd you think?
I think it's fire. I think it's what I think it's great. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
That combination was like made like it was made to bound to happen. Like it's
Right.
just a perfect combination. They flow like they've been playing together for years, and their voices blend perfectly. I love it. I love them both. I'm a huge fan of them both musically. Like they're the great example of quality music in the mainstream. So I
Right.
appreciate that so much. Because there's a lot of non-quality
Yo,
out there.
so because I feel like the actual song has a good blend of the two. So when Anderson's going in, it has like his personality. He's killing it. And then when Bruno comes in, he does his Bruno side. Like it sounds like his last, like that song belonged to his last album. It probably was, on that track list at some point, but it had that vibe. But I feel like Anderson was probably underutilized. I think Anderson should have had like a bridge or another
He
verse.
killed it though.
He did, but
I think if I gotta, I mean, we're talking about one-on-one right now. And it's very tough for me to do this one-on-one because I appreciate them both a
yeah,
lot. But his parts were really fire. I think his parts are my favorite in the song.
for sure.
I gotta
Anderson,
say that.
right? Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson's
Yeah.
parts in the song are my favorites. Everything that he did
Definitely.
was like flowing on it. The band sounds amazing because they did a merge of their bands or something like that to record.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I have to pin one against the other, it's so tough for me because Bruno Mars's career,
Yeah.
it's a career. It's a career. Like that's a career, bro. Like the songs that the catalog
Yeah.
of
Every
Bruno
album
Mars
is incredible. Every album is incredible.
is deep. And I'm not gonna say that Anderson is not like that too, because all his music, I love all his music. Like his catalog is super strong, and
Mhm.
he's unique, and he's his whole vibe about playing drums and singing is amazing. But this guy's catalog, bro, Bruno is like he covers all the bases.
Yeah. So
All
you
the
were with
bases.
Bruno.
It's tough, bro. I think it's tough. I gotta go with Bruno because Bruno has proven himself over and over and over.
Mhm.
And I think that Anderson is quite in that. He's like in the process of proving himself. That's how I see it.
And
But I prefer to
that's
listen to.
disrespectful.
I prefer to listen to. It's two different styles too. Like like Anderson has a lot more hip hop soul in it, and Bruno is like more pop on the more pop side.
Right.
So it's tough, like to pin them against each other. Like we're not gonna get the hot fire like hip hop from Bruno. It's not and he's that's not his thing. That's not his thing. So it's tough. Like it depends on the era. But when it comes to songwriting, the songwriting that even though I know that he doesn't write all his stuff. He writes with his team. Some of the guys that sing with him.
Who are you talking about?
Bruno.
So you prefer Bruno's songwriting?
Oh, I it's not that I prefer it. It's better.
Oh,
It's better
okay.
songwriting.
Let me know when you're done, bro. I'm about to dismantle this argument, dude.
Bro.
Stop it.
Bro.
Stop it.
Grenade. Just grenade. Just grenade. I just put grenade against all the songs. Just grenade only. That's just I think it's genius songwriting.
Look, man. So
That's what I think.
I'm going with Anderson. I'm taking offense to the fact that you said that he needs to prove himself because he doesn't.
I didn't say that he needs to prove himself. I didn't say that.
That's exactly what you said.
No, I said that. No, I said that he's in the process of proving himself. He already like it's just different. Like how many years Bruno has on the mainstream, and how many years has Anderson? Anderson started like 3 years ago in the mainstream. Come on, bro.
Look, man. That doesn't mean that he's in the process. He's proved himself already. This fool has been, bro. He was playing in small venues like
I'm just saying comparing.
Ago.
I'm just saying comparing the two. I'm not saying that he hasn't proved himself. It's just like Bruno's already done all the things.
I personally think that Anderson .Paak is like an all-star comedian. I think when you listen to his music,
he is.
You're like, yo, this fool writing songs is hilarious. Like, not only is he gifted with the drums, with musically, and with the singing, but he is hilarious, bro. Like, I would literally be cracking up to an Anderson song.
Yeah.
All old or new. So here's my argument. I agree. Bruno Mars is more pop, and I will say Bruno Mars takes a lot from the R&B. Like his last album is like a 90s R&B homage, right? But when it comes to like versatility, I think Anderson .Paak, because he does the R&B, then he can go into the pop mainstream. He does like Northeast hip hop from like old, like he you know, with his No Worries mixtapes, like he was killing that East Coast vibe, and then he would go and do the Compton album with Dr. Dre and killed that. Like he has the West Coast
See,
on his side
all I'm really hearing is hip hop, bro. Like you say,
Wait,
versatility, and
but
it's
wait,
mostly hip hop.
But when you listen to
Soul.
Malibu and Ventura, like those two albums are like soulful, R&B ish. There's a lot of different mixes into that are not R&B. I mean, that are not hip hop. So I'm going fully with Anderson, and then I have an affinity for him, bro, because the way he like plays, sings, sometimes like throws in a verse while he's playing the drums, bro.
Oh, it's incredible.
He is incredible. So gifted. So I'm gonna go with Anderson. I think that fool is just
he's off the charts.
Yeah, he is, man. He's really good. He makes really witty songs, bro, and he just hits home, bro. He has this song called "Miss That Whip." Yo, that song is hilarious. The song literally is about the fact that he doesn't miss his ex at all. He's like, look, I don't miss her. I just miss her car. He's like, I just miss her picking me up.
That's messed up. I don't think women are too excited to hear that on Women's Month, bro.
Hey, we don't know, what his ex was. Like, we can't assume that.
No, but he's a movie. He's super funny. Yeah. I personally, if I have to choose which one I'm gonna listen, I have to listen to for the rest of my life, I would choose Anderson. But if I'm just thinking about, like, Bruno has done so much, bro. Like,
yeah.
And so it's that's how I see it. But I think I prefer to listen to Anderson for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I'm a big Bruno fan. In a way, like when his last album came out, bro, that's the only thing I was listening to for a while. And like his old stuff, he has like that song Gorilla.
That song stuff is fire.
Yeah, the old stuff like Moonshine, like all those songs like are fire.
Incredible.
He's really good, and his live performance is another level, bro. Like that's an experience. Like
it's tough, man. I think this is kind of like a tie, just like the song. The song is kind of like who's better. Like I think Anderson .Paak has the little up the ante a little bit in that song.
Yeah,
but it's tough. I don't know. I think it's tough. They're both super talented and amazing artists.
Yeah, nah. For me, I wouldn't have to say Anderson. He's something else. Like, yeah. I have to choose him every time.
Well, I know you're biased. Like you love him. Like you're like, and it's like that's it. Like if you have anybody against him, you probably choose him.
Most times, yeah, most times. Yo, I saw him at the Forum too, bro. He was just great, dude. He was hilarious. He was just crazy. Like, he was just exactly, man. And the Free Nationals by itself too, like. His band, they're good.
They are.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's our one-on-one for today. But we have a very, 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 very especial guest. Tell them who we got today. This is a real. Hey, first of all, we celebrating Women's History Month, right?
Absolutely.
And we only have women the whole month. We already had Sissel last week.
That's right.
And now who we got today?
So today we have an incredible person that gave me an experience of a lifetime with the most amazing facial. And she's a 2-time Emmy Award winner. She's a makeup artist and an incredible human being. I want to introduce you all to Gabbi Pascua.
Yo, and before we bring her in, we just want to because she's really the real deal. We're talking about two-time Emmy? 2 times. If you're good at something, you win it twice. Bro, that's not just a little bit, in the corner accolade. That's like the real deal. We want to show her. She was on The Talk, which is an amazing show too, mainstream show. Let's show a little clip of that. Drop it. Can you hear it out there? Yep. Oh, yeah. Yo, that's some real deal, bro.
Filipino-American makeup artist making waves in the industry.
What?
Gabbi Pascua is rarely seen beyond the makeup room.
Pascua.
The Academy recognizes her as an Emmy winner. The 30-year-old just picked up her second straight daytime
Second.
Emmy in the
What?
Best
Back to
Makeup
back.
category.
Not one,
Doesn't
two.
mean you
She
didn't
got
win a
two.
second.
Wait. Hold on. This is a real deal. Let's welcome the queen,
Hueva,
Gabby
Gabby.
Pascua.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Gabby.
guys. I'm like,
Hi.
hi. I'm like blushing. Jeez, you guys are so sweet. Thank you for such a flattering introduction. You guys are so nice.
You
Sorry, I
killing the
was
game.
having like technical difficulties earlier.
It's all good. It's
It's
all
all
good.
good.
We got carried away with our Bruno Mars versus Anderson Paak.
I've been stuck on Anderson Pack lately.
Okay, let's hear it. Who do you
We
prefer,
need to, yeah, we
Anderson
need to
or
hear it.
Bruno?
Right now, I have to ride the wave. I'm with Anderson right now. That's like I've literally just been listening to him. You can't ask me about track names or anything. He just been in the background just constantly. But yeah, it's been for the last couple of weeks. I've just kind of been
Yeah.
stuck.
Yeah, he
Yes,
been on it.
Lord.
My
That's dope.
Lord.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabby. So, thank you for having us. I mean, for being here with us.
I
And
was like, thank you for having me.
I wanted to ask you, can you tell us about yourself, about your story, how you came to LA, and yeah, how you started off your career?
Yeah. So I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area. I graduated high school at the peak of the 2008 recession, which meant that, my parents were really affected financially at that time. And so they really sat me down to kind of uncover what I was really passionate about, like what I wanted to do, and if the financial investment into my college education was really going to be worth it in the end. And I wanted to go to art school. I was a social butterfly in high school, and I didn't really have the grades to go directly into the schools that I wanted. So my options were like go to a community college and transfer, or go to an art school, or go to beauty school. And my parents talked me into going to beauty school, or more, it was they made a deal with me. I wanted to move to LA, and they were like, you're not moving unless you have some type of credential under your belt. And so my mom was like, the only way is if you get your beauty license. So I got my beauty license 12 years ago, right out of high school. And then I kind of packed my car up and moved to LA. And so my career really started as, this pursuit of just trying to find fulfillment in who I was as like an angsty, like young adult, just trying to find her way. I wanted to prove to everyone at home that I can build this life that I wanted. And the only thing I knew was that I wanted to be a makeup artist in whatever capacity that meant. And I wanted to live in LA. And back when I started, this was pre like influencer. There wasn't YouTube artists. Social media had no influence on this industry. And so it was really like getting an understanding of what it meant to be a makeup artist or a beauty professional from the ground up in salons, like the traditional route, and then navigating my way on set. So I was very fortunate to have landed. Well, it was a series of unfortunate events. Like you can't make this shit up. I don't know if I'm supposed to
No, you
use
good.
Hey,
You
just
good.
be
Oh
yourself.
yeah.
It's all good. You
Yeah.
can drop it.
So like you can't make up what really happened to me. So there's like no formula to this. So basically what happened was I moved to LA. I was going to makeup school. The makeup school went bankrupt like 3 weeks before I was going to complete the course. And then I was forced to pivot. Mind you, I'm like 19 on my girlfriend's couch. It was a 1 bedroom, 1 bath in Westwood because they were going to UCLA, and they were the only friends I knew who lived in Los Angeles proper.
Wow.
And so I was sleeping on their couch. So there's 3 girls in a 1 bedroom, 1 bath apartment. I took over the living room. They had the bedroom, and they're splitting it. And it was like me and the new puppy that would like live in the living room. And so mind you, I'm like going to makeup school, like trying to, doing my big girl thing. And then the school like went bankrupt. And then I was like, well, what do I do? And my dad was like, this is when you get like on your hands and knees and you pray to God and you just go for it, because you can always come home to the Bay Area. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go for it, but I also need to pay bills. So I found a job in the salon in Beverly Hills. And then 3 months into that, my boss passed away. And then I was like, well, what am I gonna do now? And then it was like one thing after another. And mind you, this is all in the first 6 months of me living in LA and like living on my own and understanding what it means to manage like food, water, shelter, and like sanity at the same time. And so I, it was like my last leap of faith. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it all I got till the end of the year. And my boyfriend at the time, God bless his heart, we're no longer together, but like his family really, like, I owe it to his family. His uncle actually took me in and he paid it forward with me. He was like, when I was your age, a family took me in and gave me a year rent free so that I can get on my feet. So he gave me a year rent free in Long Beach so that I can get on my feet. And I just freaking hustled. Like, I set myself up before I even moved to LA. So I got my license so I could work in salon if I needed to. And then 2, I got hired as a Mac freelance artist in San Francisco. And so I called them and I was like, hey, can you transfer me to LA? And the Mac Malibu, what used to be at the Country Mart in Malibu, the manager there, he was so sweet, and he transferred me from San Francisco to LA and then would hire me to be freelance in Malibu, but I was living in Long Beach. And so then I was just hungry, literally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like, I just wanted to work. And so I got out of the salon and started freelancing for Mac. And then I was driving everywhere from like Malibu to Orange County, like working random counters and like at Macy's and like the Westminster Mall, like all of that stuff. And I just really got to lay the land. And then I, got connected to Smashbox Studios, and who's now the global lead of pro artistry there, and who has been Gloria Taylor Davis. She really got me my first break. I like stalked her.
How did that connection happen? Because it seemed like you were, doing all kinds of different gigs.
I was doing all these things. So before I left the salon, so I was working at a pretty upscale salon in Beverly Hills, and like to date me, it was a Twilight premiere party that we were throwing. And it was like all these beauty editors and publicists came in, and they were all getting ready for the party. And there was a beauty editor from InStyle magazine who I really just kind of took to. And we just kind of had a personal conversation, like in the midst of like a 2-minute introduction of knowing each other. And there was something inside of me that was just like, ask her. And so then I did. And I was like, hey, I don't want to work in salon anymore. I really want to get on set. Do you have any like any leads, or like, can you give me advice on like how to start that process? And she was like, yeah. And she slipped me her card, and there was 2 leads on the back of it. And there was one big agency. I don't know if they're still around in LA, but one big agency, she gave me an agent's email, and then she gave me the contact to Smashbox. And then that's how that conversation started. And so, my career, like really started in the PR closet of Smashbox Cosmetics. And this was at the time when they were getting acquired by Estee Lauder. So I got to see the transition, and I still got to be a part of that OG kind of like Smashbox studio crew that they had. And it was like, personal, like, it was just really personable, like the studios. And because it was like such a local LA studio, and just the history, like Dean and Davis Factor, like they're, Max Factor, the makeup company, and then Smashbox, and then the studios. And it was just like iconic. And being able to kind of start my career there was really beautiful. Like, it was beautiful because I, was like this glorified intern for the PR team. And then I would like get invited to assist on set. But then I got to become friends with like, my friend who still a dear friend to this day. She was like the receptionist to the studios, and then the grip guys, and like the photo assistants. And then Smashbox, before they got acquired, was so generous, and they would like, the studio manager there would allow all the assistants and the grips and like, anybody kind of in that circle trying to start their career, they would give us the studios to test. And so my book was really built like after hours at Smashbox with all the assistants and the grips, and like being able to work on set with like the lead artists on big campaigns and the start of their digital build out. And then being able to build my own book at the studios and just kind of like run around and kind of like feel like one big like family. Like I swear from that studio, I to this day have like best friend, like people who have my back. Like I just, so I owe it to them. So yeah, that's kind of how I started. And then I really found myself in the LA circuit. And you know, LA naturally gives you the opportunity to work red carpets and celebrity and events because that's like one of the biggest, you know, I guess money makers here in LA is award season pre-pandemic. Very interesting right now. This typically would be like the busiest season for like entertainment and for, you know, beauty professionals is like this season. So it's a second year of this is like really impacting the industry. So anyway, I digress.
No. We want to hear more
Yeah.
about that because you know
Yeah.
we obviously know that this has affected everybody, but how has it affected your industry or you directly in this, you know, in the last 12, 13 months?
Yeah, and
Oh
you
man.
you touch people, so that's like tough. Like you touch people's
Yeah.
faces.
Yeah. It's tough. You know, I mean, I just have to say, like, the California's beauty industry like got hit really, really hard. I don't think people understand like how affected this industry was really impacted. I think it's one of the hardest hit in the whole country, like for sure. Like at one point, you know, all productions, all studios, everything shut down. And then not only that, salons shut down. So it was really like, you know, the thing that was really discouraging too was there's a lot of licensed beauty professionals who are trained and you go through state board for, you know, for the prevention of viruses and diseases. So it's like you have licensed professionals who are trained in this to prevent disease, yet they weren't able to practice, even though that's how they become licensed. Like it was such like it just didn't make sense. And I felt for like everybody who was like impacted by this. And I wasn't really working in salon before the pandemic. I was primarily working on set, and a lot of like my income was coming from events and press, and you know that all stopped. And so it really affected me for sure. And that's honestly how I ended up doing skincare. So
And we'll get to the
really interesting.
skincare.
Yeah.
We'll get to that for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, but it's you know it impacted a lot of people. Thank God everything's starting to come back again. Studios have finally come back up. Everyone's starting to shoot again. It's slowly but surely coming. You know, we all are so trained now, especially entertainment, like anybody on TV sets, anybody on major networks. We all are required to do mandatory like motion picture has like one if for those who don't know, like when you are working on like major networks and major production sets, you have to go through like a lot of like safety training. And so they like up their safety training to secure the fact that like everybody on set is going to take all the precautions that we possibly can to like have the most safest environment and the healthiest environment possible. You also, you know, we're getting tested constantly. And it's, you know, you don't only go through like the motion picture training, you go through each network's training. So it's like before I could even step on set, when things started coming back in February, in what was that, in like September, October, there was one afternoon, it was like over 4 hours of training just to get back onto set. So it's just, you know, it is something that we all are just doing our best. Like, yes, we touch faces, so we really are there with everyone, and we're in close proximity, especially like working with talent, especially if you're on like a TV show, if you're doing a photo shoot, like they're not going to wear a mask. So it's really important to just know how to like keep everyone safe and just to do the best that you can. It's all we can do at this point.
That's all we got.
Hey,
That's
so
all
we
got.
wanted to talk about your two awards. So you went back to back like Kobe. So oh. So tell us about that. How did that happen? What was your journey to it? And was one more like, you know, significant to you than the other?
I honestly have to say the second one.
Okay.
Like winning my second Emmy, like in the middle of a pandemic, was kind of like wild. I think just because the juxtaposition of emotions that I was feeling at the time, because my entire life kind of stopped. My career stopped. Like I was living in I had like moved to New York last August, or not even last
Woo!
August, to 2019, and I ended up back in
Shoot.
LA for a new TV show. Like, and so I was signed on for a 3-month gig. We had just started filming, and then the world stopped. And then all of a sudden I'm like back at home with my parents because, the pandemic. And so it's like my stuff's in New York. I'm back in Southern California trying to make a decision if I'm going to stay in LA because the show's eventually going to come back. Entertainment's eventually going to come back. We just didn't know when. And so the second win, I think, was a lot more meaningful because it gave me a level of like it just encouraged me to like keep going, because by at that point I think I was really feeling it. I was really kind of depressed, honestly.
Mhm.
I was depressed. I was questioning everything that I had ever like done in my career. Like I was literally sitting on my parents' couch eating cold French fries. And then all of a sudden I'm getting text messages from producers like,
That's cold.
Wait, why
congratulations.
cold?
That's
Cold,
cold.
cold French fries.
Why
Cold.
cold? You
That's
didn't have to do that to
cold.
It was
yourself.
cold. It was cold. They were cold French fries because like
Shoot.
like I was home, because what was I gonna do? And like my parents were out, like I don't know what they were doing, but they came back with food. And
Yeah.
it was like leftovers. And my dad was like, oh, here's some like leftovers, like a tuna melt and some fries. And it was cold. And I was like, okay, I'll eat it. And I was just like sitting on the couch, kind of like eating cold fries, like eating my feelings. And then I'm getting like bombed. Like my phone is like blowing up. And I'm like, what is going on? And they're like, congratulations, you guys. I was like,
Wait, was that for
this
the
is wild.
nomination or was that for, you won?
We won. We won. Yeah.
Whoa. So
That was
you
for
were
the
not
one.
even watching it.
I wasn't even watching it. I was like, no, I was on the couch. I wasn't even on my phone. I honestly, the only thing that I remember was just sitting on the couch, like with a cold tuna melt and cold fries. And then I'm just like feeling the buzz on my leg. And I'm like, what's going on? And I like flip it over. And it's just like all the congrats and all of those things. And so the nomination, actually, when I got nominated, I get a text message from a producer. She's like, congratulations. And I was like, for what? I
Is
was like,
that
what?
both of them from the same show?
Yeah, same show. They're both from the same show, but it was
Nice.
just funny because, I think as a makeup artist and as a millennial makeup artist, when everything shut down, it was like, okay, like try being like a beauty influencer, like try like bring your perspective on beauty out, because we're all on our phones and this is the time to actually say something. So I like
Mhm. was
was focusing on just kind of like creating a platform that felt authentic and that was actually helpful to
Yeah.
people, um because I had never really stepped into that space. And so as I was working on that, that's when I got the nomination text, was when I was actually like working on like content with like a social media coach, and then I get a text message being like, congrats on your nomination. I was like, fun, this is great. But I had no idea we were gonna win. Like I was like, oh, it's probably gonna go on rotation, like the next
Yeah.
show that's been nominated is gonna win. But I did not expect,
What a blessing.
yeah, it's a blessing for sure. For
Well,
sure.
if anybody wants to know how to get an Emmy,
There you
you
go.
already heard, you got to put yourself out there. That's a great story that you put, that a lot of people are afraid, either afraid or too prideful to like step up and be like, "Yo, I'm here." Like you said before, you went to that person and you was like, "Yo, I just want to get in this. What do I need to do?" And then that created an
Mhm.
opportunity, and then that leads to the next one. But
Yeah.
I think it's inspiration right there. How
You
to get
know,
Emmy. You need to put yourself out there, do the work.
yeah, do the work and just show up. Honestly, if I could tell you how I even got onto that show, was I got onto that show through an actress. But how I met her was, I'll never forget it. I was assisting and I was starting to get like thrown, like personal, like I was starting to get thrown like my own client face. But I was like really starting to emerge, and I was like like 23 at the time. And I was still like young in it. I was only like 4 years deep into it. But I had been around celebrity. I'd been around various sets at that point. I was always working, and I was so tired one morning, and I had brunch plans, and I get a last minute phone call from a girlfriend saying she had like food poisoning. And I remember it was like, I was going, like, just to put into perspective, like the cold french fries, I was going for like my morning pee, and I like, my phone is going off, and I was like, what is going on? And I like check my phone as I get out of the bathroom, and my friend was like, I have food poisoning. I need someone to cover me in the next 45 minutes on set. Like, it was
Wow.
down in like Atwater Village. And she was like, I want you to work with the photographers because you've worked with them before. And she was like, but this is, this is the actress. It's for her book. And I was like, oh, you took a deep breath. And I was like, I remember there was something inside me that was like, remember to stay hungry. Remember
Yeah.
what got you all your opportunities, stay hungry and show up. So I was like, you know what? I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. So I showed up, and that's my actress that kept calling me, and she kept calling me. And then all of a sudden she grandfathered me into the union, and then I got into that TV show. And then that's how I got the Emmys 5 years later, 5 nominations and 2 wins later. Like, that's literally how I got where I am, was by that split second moment that came at a really random, not opportune time. I like wanted to keep sleeping, and I wanted to go to brunch, but I canceled brunch plans and I showed up for work. And my life would have been completely different today had I not said yes to that job. So
Honestly, I think there's a theme with our guests. One, I feel like everybody, including us too, have some sort of couch story.
For sure.
And
LA,
yeah.
California.
But also a lot of people really just like staying hungry is a theme that many of our guests have said. Just being able to just stay focused,
That's
stay
the key.
hungry. Yeah.
That's how they get to be accomplished like that.
yeah.
I wanted to ask you about you started a brand, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the brand and how did you get started and where it's
Is
at
that
right
the
now?
skincare one?
No. So
Mm-mm.
before skin,
Which
what got me to skin, it was just like a series of different events. So I started this brand called Suit Beauty. Right now it's kind of paused. There's a little bit more of like brand development that I'm working on right now, and it's kind of evolved into something a lot of bit different. But I, I was working in TV, and I was really trying to find my voice in the social space because it's so necessary, like, to be relevant in Los Angeles, like online. Like, if you are not online, you don't really exist in LA. And so I didn't build
Anywhere.
or anywhere. Yeah, but I feel like there's something about Los Angeles where like it's even more like it's more required here.
Right.
And so I didn't start my career like ever integrating social media. I honestly, there was an incident that like scared me from using it ever. And I like stopped like even trying to build it. So it's always been more personal to me. So I kind of hit this point. It was like the upward swing of the beauty influencer 2015, 2016. And I was making lip balms in my kitchen when I was starting the TV show in my downtime. And it was an idea that always kind of stayed with me. And long story short, I started to get sober. And in that process, I was like, well, maybe there's a way to like integrate a social platform or a message, not necessarily through me, but like I could hide behind a brand. Like I could put like my thoughts on beauty behind a brand and kind of push that out and story tell through a brand. So that's
Love
how
that.
really, and a long story short, how Suit started. And I always wanted to create this community, creating a space, but I felt like I had to do it through lipstick. And so that's how that journey started. But, holding integrity and just having to go through the whole small business process, like the fact that I bootstrapped the whole concept. up until I couldn't anymore. Like I literally threw all of me into it, and I was like, you know what, all or nothing. Let's just see what happens. And I did all of it to realize that I don't want to push lipsticks. I don't want to sell lipsticks. I want to focus more on people. Like I like people. I like, I like helping people. I like storytelling. I like connection. I like community. I don't want to play along for what it means to be a beauty brand in today's marketplace. I just
So
didn't.
is that what led you on to what you're doing now?
Yeah. So what had happened was a lot of meltdowns in the middle of the pandemic and a lot of time not working and a lot of time building out social. I was just like, I have expertise in makeup and, how to kind of build a life from scratch and just kind of go off of things. But I want to have expertise when people ask me about skin. And like when I started getting sober, I went through an adult acne struggle. The estheticians that I went to, a couple of them helped me out, but nobody really gave me a solution. I just felt like I was just constantly being told to do X, Y, and Z with no rhyme or reason. And so I'm like a little bit of a beauty geek and a beauty nerd. And so my brain got bored and I looked up different programs to kind of further my education. And I was like, I've always wanted to go deeper into skin. So I signed up for a master esthetician program. I'm already licensed. I've been licensed for the last like 12 years. And so I was like, oh, this is going to give me a kick. Like, and it's going to give me more opportunity to help people even on set. Like when I'm working on set with like actors or talent, I can actually educate them or like recommend things or even like give facials like before set if I need to or before events. And when the world comes back, I just wanted to be able to help people from skin first. It's really, if your skin comes correct, the makeup is going to look even more correct. Like it's going to look great. It really intertwines and makes it makes our job easier as makeup artists, but it also helps the confidence of talent. And so I really just wanted to be a voice of expertise and have true knowledge and not just be feeding people the trend, not just be feeding people what I'm finding, scrolling or on social media or on blogs. Like I wanted to understand what actually happens to skin so that I can give people true results because I had a difficulty finding anyone to do that for me. So that's why I stepped into the skincare space.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
would you say if you have to choose between skincare and makeup, which one do you think that pulls you more?
That's so unfair. Um, honestly,
Both.
God, both. I love it. Like, I think when it comes to makeup artistry, like it's so creative and it's so like immediate results that it's just like instant and it's just they're so different. Although like they're kind of the same but different at the same time. But right now I think because I've been in skin, the last like God, like 8 months, like really starting to like, educate myself and really put this into practice. Like I I'm really loving skin. The fact that I could help people like skin deep and just help them build their confidence without any makeup on, that's cool. Like I don't know. It's just
And
it's
I
a
heard you have the gift. I heard Albi said you have that gift.
Look,
Gifted hands.
look, man. Let me tell you my
Gifted
story. Let me
hands.
tell you my story. So I booked a facial with Gabby. I showed up. This cool spot. It was so relaxing. That's like by the 7th Street Bridge, right, Gabby?
4th Street. It's at here,
Oh,
Los
4th Street.
Angeles. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, man, and she gave me a facial, and then she was telling me her story while she was doing the facial, and I didn't listen to most of it because I fell asleep.
You passed out.
I was out, and
He
then
was,
she.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he was like, I was asking him, I was like, so have you ever gone to facial before? He's like, no, like I don't really do any of this stuff. I don't really do the self-care thing. I don't really do the massage. I don't do any of that because like all I've ever heard was like horror stories and stuff. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I'm honored to like give you your first like self-care treatment, whatever. And I like walk away and I come back and he's like out. Like he is like passed out on the bed.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. When I go do massages or anything like that, that self-care. I know falling asleep is I feel amazing, but it pisses me off because then I don't get to enjoy it. Like every time I fall asleep on a massage, it feels like the massage was like 3 minutes.
Right.
So like it pisses me off, man. I sometimes I try, but if you have to go, if it's so
Yeah.
good, you go. But
You
It
gotta
was so
go and get that like deep tissue massage so that you're like awake.
awake
oh,
the whole time.
I've had those, and I went once to this lady who was deep. Like we ended up in pain. My wife and I we were in pain for like a week.
It was too deep.
I felt her like go inside like my joints. I was like, ah. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
man. It was awkward because like she woke me up. She didn't know I was asleep, and I was like, I was startled, and then she was like, "Oh, my bad." But it was good. So, anyways, Gabby,
I need
it
to
was an
grab that one.
incredible experience. But
Thank
how
you.
can people sign up for your skincare services and the facials and all that good stuff?
Cool. Yeah. You could just follow me on Instagram. There's a link. There's a booking link on my bio, and it goes. There's like a little bit about me, and then there's. I'm actually doing a special, so it's like $100 off your first
Ooh.
facial. Yeah.
Nice.
Get
And
it. Say that
so
again. Say that again so they
it's
don't miss that one.
$100 off your first facial. It's custom facial, and all of my treatments are result driven. So I'm not just gonna wash your face. I'm gonna, help you get to a full result, or we're gonna give you an effective treatment that's gonna get you towards a result that you'd like. And yeah, I just want everyone to leave camera ready, and that's either camera ready where you feel confident enough to take a selfie after your facial, or a couple days after a facial and like you feel your best with some makeup on and just like your makeup's gonna lay better. So yeah, so it's all result driven and effective treatments, and find me on Instagram.
There you go.
Right there.
There
You
you
can put
go.
in the bottom right there, Gabbi Pascua. Go follow her right now. Buy her products, support her, watch the show. Because that's what we're doing this. You know what I'm saying? We just want to put for you to see such great talent that we have here in LA and in California. And, this is a great example. You know what I mean? Black and brown, Asian. We got all the vibes over here.
Hey, Gabby,
Thank you.
before we finish off, I
Mhm.
think it's really important that you share with people the most basic skincare routine
Okay. So
because I feel like a lot of us are just like oblivious. So
okay.
what do we gotta do?
Okay, so I will say that the most basic skincare routine you can do for yourself is to cleanse your face twice a day, morning and night, to restore the balance by applying a toner after you cleanse it, morning and night, and then to moisturize your face morning and night. Just cleanse, tone, moisturize. If you're going out in the sun, use a SPF. If you're going to sleep, just use whatever moisturizer you have. You don't have to use an SPF. But yeah, just cleanse, tone, and moisturize. Keep it freaking simple. It doesn't have to be 10 steps. It's like if you can get those 3 steps down consistently twice a day, every day, I promise you're going to see a difference within a week and at the most 2 weeks. So yeah, just get on that twice a day, 3-step regimen.
Ooh, Gabby dropping them gems.
And in your Instagram account, you have more steps to follow and other products that people should be, having at home, right?
Yeah, and the thing is that, I want like the easiest step possible. I don't want to try to sell you a really expensive product that's going to promise all these things. I just want you to wash your freaking face. Like, if it's
Yeah.
a freaking like $10 cleanser that's going to last you a couple months, please buy it. Like, just go to your local drugstore and get and I have drugstore options because a lot of people that are DMing me, a lot of people that come to me, they all had good skin as teenagers, and then it's all of a sudden everybody's dealing with adult acne now, and I was one of them. And it's because I had good skin growing up, or I didn't have acneic skin. It didn't happen till later in life, so I didn't even know how to like properly wash my face. And so it's just about like creating the easiest, most basic regimen for people to have a solid skincare foundation, and then they can start adding. But until you can get those 3 steps down, you don't need to be buying like all the
Rose
things.
petal water.
Yeah, you also, and you don't need to be putting, you don't even need to be put on like internal medicine. Like people go to the extreme, like I'm going to take this pill and it's going to make my acne go away. No, washing your face consistently is going to make your acne go away. Like before you go through the internal like damages and like side effects of taking, you know, all of these prescribed medications, try topical first and try getting on a regimen. I was one that was prescribed spirulactone and I literally almost like felt like I was going into like a seizure like with it, and I was getting like dizzy spells and the side effects were not worth it. So I'm like, get off of that, just start washing your face and like get educated on what to use. And so I provide that education on my Instagram for anybody who like wants to take a peek.
Love it. Did you see Armando's comment?
Oh my God, we got it. Should I put out? I was thinking about it. Look, he's funny. He's funny. He said, "I have a pimple right now."
Oh, me too. I have it on my lip.
Armando, you can follow Gabbi and
Please.
book a facial with Gabbi. She'll take care of you. Okay, so we got to go now to the next segment, which is our top fire. Gabbi, this is the time where we ask you a question, and we need your top five for whatever topic that we bring up.
Okay.
So we want to know what were your top five quarantine coping activities? What kept you sane?
What kept me sane? Running.
Okay.
Writing. Praying, meditating, cooking, and calling friends on FaceTime.
Boom. That was quick. You were ready for that.
Facts.
That's a good list.
She got all the self-love in there.
Right.
Have to.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So Stones, what about you?
Let's see. What do I have? Definitely praying and praising, listening to gospel. All that is one.
Yes, the worship music.
Yeah. That's the best coping mechanism for me.
It really is.
Eating. I have to. I love eating. I love eating. What else? Going on a walk. I don't know why it feels so great. That always grounds me, like just in my thoughts, nature, being able to see, if the more nature I have around me, the more trees and sky that I can see. It's just, a little bit, just 4 blocks. Sometimes I do just 4 blocks, come back to the house and the whole energy shifts.
Yeah.
What else? Coping mechanism. Definitely playing the drum is definitely one. It's definitely a big one. Every time I play the drum, it releases that energy.
Yeah.
Definitely playing some sort of instrument or something. And number 5, watching Naruto.
Anime has to be in there.
Anime is definitely in my list. Like when I'm like down or when it's like, I sit down, watch some anime, and I'm like, oh, after watching like 3 or 4 episodes,
you feel all good.
Binging.
I love that.
That's my top fire.
That's a good one. All right, so mine, I will start with I picked up biking during the quarantine. I was biking ridiculous amounts, and that was great. I was hiking a lot too. When once they were open, I was doing those hikes. Then I watched a lot of The Office. Like I finished The Office during quarantine, so that was fun. The Office and Avatar. Avatar is such a peaceful show.
The Bender, the Airbender one. Ooh,
yeah, like the actual cartoon, bro. Like that is a Bible right there. Like it's just
pretty dope.
Yeah, it's so good. Has so many lessons. Like it's just great. I read a lot during quarantine. I read a ton. And then music got me through it.
Music is number 1.
Music got me through it. Yeah, I think I started the year with like a gospel playlist too, because at that time I think that's when Sunday Service Choir came out with their album, and I was all over that. Like 2020 top 20 from Spotify, like they were all over my list. So yeah, that was music was great. So yeah, that's my top 5.
Top fire.
Love
Oh my God.
it.
Thank you so much, Gabby. We're
Oh
like,
my God. Thank
this
you
was, you
guys.
dropped so many gems, and you know, I hope that's the whole point of this show, to get people inspired with amazing people like you. And it's so aligned. Like, this is the first time I meet you, and it's so, we're so aligned. I'm grateful that you're here, because like you were talking about what things that you like about creating community, and being there for the people, and you know, and creating, being creative with the people, and that's what we all about. So having you here was, couldn't be the best fit. Like, it's just the best fit.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
Gabby. No,
Thank you.
we appreciate you, and you know, I think when I met you, definitely felt that vibe, and I think you are headed in the direction that you want to be, which is, you know, creating community, creating people. I mean, creating a relationship with people, and it felt like that. Like, you know, you were just talking, and you put people at ease, and you just bless them with your gifts. So I definitely encourage everybody listening to this to hit up Gabby. And thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me. And I love what you guys are doing. And just to be a part of your like message and just your community building is really meaningful. And I just am so thankful to be here.
Thank you,
Thank
Gabby
you.
Pascua.
Bye.
Blessings to you. Blessings to you. You have a
Bye
good one.
bye.
Keep doing it. Yo.
Estás loquito con el efecto ese.
Papi, tenía que hacerlo. Tostones.
Mira, estamos ready.
Estamos ready para lo que viene con el suelta. Queda, arranco yo o
Sí,
arranca
sí,
tú,
arranca
¿cómo
tú.
vamos a tener que tirar una peseta de ahora en adelante. We're gonna have to drop a coin or something.
I'll
start it. We're gonna do the suelta right now. Let's see what we got. Just so, for those that don't know, the suelta is an improvisation session. You know, for rappers, singers, like we rap and, you know, and sing. That's what we're doing. Everything that we do here, we never wrote. We never thought about. It's just whatever flows. So we don't know what's going to happen. Let's see.
Uy.
Yeah. Yup. Aquí llegamos. Siempre duro le bajamos. Ey, el dedo le bajamos a todos los que se creen que estamos jugando. Pero no saben lo que estamos haciendo. Siempre lo hacemos para convencerlo. Esto me suena como es palayar. Como dice Bad Bunny, ya vi a bichillar. Ey, y nos vamos sin chillar. Ey, cuidado que los vamos a sentar. Pa' que entienda que nos vamos a explicar. Porque somos los duros y nunca vamos a parar. Ey, y la cosa siempre sigue creciendo. Tú sabes cómo lo estamos haciendo. Sabes que nunca le bajamos. Cómo lo hacemos pasando. Tú sabes, bro. Ey, dímelo, padrino. Cuando llegamos a la escena nos quedamos con el ey. No me importa un comino. Tú sabes que las nenas siempre están rutuando al amigo. Ey, y seguimos como dice. Dime cómo es. Tú sabes que lo hice. Lo hice porque quise. Los MC baratos quieren que yo los pise. Ey, y sigue cómodo, como es. Lo hacemos a diario. Esto suena durio. Somos los sicarios. Ey, y tú sabes que esto puede ser un movimiento precario. Como quiera, somos los que tenemos el santuario. Ey, y le damos gracias a Dios porque siempre estamos bendecidos como no podemos pararlo como Rose desde LA. Pasando DTLA. Estamos cerrando, suéltalo, babe. Tú sabes que somos los duros, por eso te lo juro. Tenemos los que rompe el conjuro.
¡Wow! Papi, te guillaste. Te guillaste.
Yo. Suelta.
Mira,
Suelta.
first of all, you did this beat, bro, and I'm loving it, dude. This is a good beat.
Thank you, man. That's perreo industrial. I just came up with that.
Perreo industrial. Yeah.
Like
Dale.
30 minutes before the show, I was like, and it came out like that.
I love it. All right, let me drop it. Can you hear it?
Padrino, Zumba.
Can you hear it?
Sí.
Yeah. ¿Cómo? Mira, de perreo intelectual, lo bajamos a perreo industrial. Mami, vente para acá, tú sabes que esta es mi rumba. Y el beat retumba. Hey, te lo meto como tumba. Uy, y nos vamos para allá. Ella me llama, vamos para la playa. Otra noche en Miami, así dice va. Pero tú sabes que yo no soy funny. Tampoco soy Bad Bunny. No te metas conmigo, soy el Horry. Coach como Robert Horry. Los meto de 3 como Robert Horry.
¿Cómo?
se me fue.
Padrino.
Mira, el padrino llegó. Tú sabes que yo vengo con el flow. Voy por South LA a South Miami Beach. Tú sabes que lo voy de aquí para allá y me fui. 2000 millas, no tengo el flow, pero sigo en la silla. No me importa lo que digan. Aquí en el freestyle miran. Mira, y estoy aquí en la mira. Papi Sniper, como si fuera Call of Duty. Ella me llama Call of Duty.
Y le gusta el Tutti Frutti. Durísimo. Yo.
Ay, qué vacilón.
We did that thing. Yo.
I feel more inspired when you're across from the table.
We get on some ones, but you went in, bro. You always go in. Siempre zumba, siempre me sorprende, siempre metes algo. You always put something in there that takes me off guard. I'm like, okay, padrino.
Dijo Tutti Frutti.
we need to get this record out, bro. We need to get this Padrino Tostones out.
But
anyway, están fritos. Thank you for tuning in. Every Wednesday, we're going to be here every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. live on YouTube, happening in downtown LA. My name is Tostones.
I'm el Padrino.
Y recuerda, aquí está pasando. Peace.